Beautiful.
All right, finally. Am I right?
Ooh,
Ooh, it feels good, doesn't it?
I feel like should I clean up? Should I clean up my apartment before Justin gets here?
He's coming to your apartment. Damn.
He's gonna see. He's gonna
Oh, I
see it
see.
all.
I have a small surprise that it is. Can you hear me? You left. You're gone, Mikey.
There.
I have
It's much more
so much
professional
better.
now.
I have a small surprise that I'm excited about.
Oh yeah.
One Matt Reginini is gonna pop on by my apartment.
Ooh.
Yeah, very lucky
Is he
me.
gonna bring presents?
He's gonna bring presents. Yes. He's like, hey man, just busy making beautiful art. Wondering if you need some energy. Come on by. I'm like, wow, what a nice guy. So assuming he doesn't get hit by a car, he'll probably stop by around 7 or 8 or something like that. I don't know.
Nice.
How are you doing?
I'm doing great. How are you doing?
Good. Can you do that thing again where you talk?
Yeah, I can talk. Are we still streaming?
Yeah.
Awesome. So how's it been going so far? You've been going since 10 a.m. That's a solid 6 hours at this point.
Yeah, it is. I feel
fine.
fine.
You feeling strong?
I feel pretty strong. My the only thing is my legs are actually starting to kind of
Yeah.
not
You gotta
feel
get up
it.
and you don't want to get any blood clots. You gotta
Yeah,
get up and walk
got it.
around.
Well, I have my desk bike, so I'm doing that.
Oh, okay. Well,
yeah.
that should be good.
Yeah. So Twitch, we're just gonna like shoot the shit until Justin gets here, and then once Justin gets here, we're gonna shoot the shit as well. Michael, I'm gonna be weird, and I'm going.
Okay.
Oh, here's my email. I'm gonna be weird, and I'm going to get up
Great.
and stretch my legs a little bit, and
Okay.
I'm gonna be back in just 1 second. So just say hi, everybody. You know.
All right. I'll just hang out here with the chat room. What's going on, chat room? Tell me what's up. I'll tell you all the secrets that I know. You just have to ask me whatever question, and this is like ask me anything. AMA right now for the next hopefully 18 minutes. It's just me by myself. I mean, I could do a little song and dance. All right, I got a lot of people are saying hi. That's nice. Somebody, the Ben Cook, asked me what are all the secrets. I can't. It'd take too long to name all of the secrets. Let's see. God, there's a lot of you people in here. How do I like Canada? I'm not in Canada. I'm in upstate New York. Thank you for asking. Who's gonna die next on Drunks and Dragons? I would assume probably some sort of probably a Nerevian. That's probably likely. It's probably likely. Somebody's wondering what's up with Daisy. I don't know what's up with Daisy. She's probably around somewhere. She's probably in Paler's Hope, just doing weird bug donkey things. How much do I love Julio's chips? I love them a lot. Landon, this is absolutely true. Julio's chips are delicious, and I'm out of jalapeno salt, and I might have to, if anything. There's a hole in my life the shape of a jalapeno salt shaker. So that's one. I am painting a picture thing for a tank top. Well, that's exciting. Granny Smith Fossway asked if we could do something for their birthday. Sure. Why not? I'm scrolling shit. There's definitely so Redskin asked, or what is it? What's your name? Is that your name? Red skiing. Sorry, not Redskin. There was actually a bit of a bombshell on the last episode of D&D, so but you'll survive if you watch anyway. Do I have the next arc figured out? I have like a final arc figured out, but I'm not sure about the next arc. That's a good thing. Tim, you're muted.
Yeah, I'm back. Hello.
I stupidly asked if asked them to ask me questions, and I can't keep up with the scroll.
That's hilarious.
No,
Fucking fool.
I'm an idiot. Yes, but I have convinced Landon to send me more jalapeno salt. So really, mission accomplished. If anything today, if we needed to do anything today,
Okay,
it
get
was
more shit. Yeah, well, I'm gonna get
get
pizza
more
and beer maybe, even though I'm not really gonna drink much. I might have a beer or two.
yeah.
Oh.
I'm having a hard cider out of my birthday glass that Matthew Morris got for me.
That's nice. That's nice. Motherfuckers be drinking hard cider all over the fucking place.
I know, right? Well,
Can't keep up.
we're the same fridge, probably. Yeah, it's like it's birthday time, right? Like Jennifer and Bachman and a bajillion other people, like a gajillion,
yeah,
like a jillion schmillion other people.
Too many other people, if you ask me, but whatever. So how do you think? Let's talk about the what is it? Quest to save Tidtown? Is that what it's called?
Tidtown, yes. The Quest to save Tidtown. Did you pick up on any of that? I don't know.
I haven't listened to any of it yet. But I pretty much just listened to like context clues, I guess, about what was happening. How do you think it went?
I think it was really fun. I think it went really well. I will say that, like, man, Jennifer.
Yes.
She does her. She's so good. When I think you should not come anymore, because like the level of her game was like she was the party leader. She was kicking so much ass. She was hilarious.
Yeah, she was
talking. Not that she's not. She's hilarious all the time, but the spotlight really shined on her, and I thought it was awesome.
I'm a black hole for talent. You know, I mean, I'm a big tree.
I've always said that.
I crowd others out. You know, people are less talented when I'm around. I steal, I take.
Right, you're kind of like a vampire.
You're kind of like a vampire. If you're not paying attention to me, why? And what can I do to make you do that? Now, I was talking to Jennifer when I was in Thailand, I think at this point, and it was either Thailand or right when I got to Ho Chi Minh City in Vietnam. She just had a lot of positive things to say of basically being like, it was so much fun to be a completely different weirdo character. It was one of the weird things about her playing Aludra for so long is I think she kind of gets jealous of the rest of us being able to stretch out a little bit.
But she's the last tie to episode 1 though.
Exactly.
I mean,
yeah,
that's tough.
Maybe I don't know. Maybe we could just kill her or something. I don't know.
Yeah, you know, maybe a terrible, terrible injury that she can't come back from.
Yeah, or maybe just a choice. She's like maybe. Yeah, I think the thing is, Aludra can't die. I know that Nika and I have said that we will metagame the fuck out of it to make sure that she can't die. Like, there's no reason.
Oh, why would that be any different than a normal episode?
Oh, Michael, you friggin' turkey. I'm gonna fight you in the friggin'. Oh yeah, we can't do tragic lesbians, so we can't do that. We know what we should do. We should kill her in the way that checks off every single negative box. Literally kill her in a fridge.
In a fridge?
Yeah, fridging. Have you heard that term?
I don't know. What does that mean?
I forget what it's from, but basically it's like the whole gist. Oh, Jennifer's walking in now. Jennifer, what's fridging?
What the hell are you talking about?
I was suggesting that we kill Aludra, checking off every single negative checkbox, like tragic lesbians, fridging.
Fridging is when you kill a woman in order to like make a man's story like more compelling, to like make him have a sad backstory.
Oh, okay, Toby. You know what Toby needs? Some fridged. No, I don't even really want to joke about that because I guess it's bad to do that, to treat characters
maybe we shouldn't
as plot points for male peoples. What are you gonna do? But how was the workout? Oh, not great.
I haven't been able to be on a good schedule recently, so it's tough getting back in.
Yeah, I get that. I get that. It's tired and hot. He's running behind, so we're just faffing about, talking to the Twitch chat. Take a little break. I'm stretching my legs out a little bit. I had my shorts on backwards for most of the morning.
Whoa.
And I switched them earlier. Maybe that's what.
Nice. Did you do it on stream?
I didn't. If I did, I assume Josketh would have like felt it no matter where he was and would have ran to a
it just exploded
computer or something. Anyways, yeah, you know, it's I was reading an article. I forget who posted it because Sly Flourish retweeted it, but it's about people basically playing D&D for money, or DMing for money. And it was kind of interesting because it's like, all right, so hardcore, old school people kind of balk at the DM who is, one, getting paid to do it, two, who's bringing them through a story that's maybe not necessarily as tragic or maybe as dangerous, because they're like, oh, if they're paying you, then you're going to not put them through tough stuff. And they're basically talking like, no, it's kind of like what we do, right? It's in the middle where, we kill a lot less, fewer characters, right, than a traditional game, typically, I think. Or at least it feels that way. So it's sort of like this new way to approach campaigns that aren't just like the old school puzzle and action combat fest.
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, in a weird way, I think even if you're not getting paid to do it, like the DM's job is still kind of to present an interesting, entertaining thing for the people to do, right?
Exactly. Yeah. And it's
so whether you're getting paid or not, I mean, it's still, I don't know.
Yeah. And it's I think it's kind of a good thing for the community as a whole to be kind of pushed in directions they maybe don't initially like, and maybe it sort of shows them how different campaigns can be run. Maybe I think now people are leaning more into the story, and they a little bit are getting the whole thing of what's the word I'm looking for, where the DM is much more a part of crafting an adventure story, a hero story for the players, as opposed to like an antagonistic relationship. I'm gonna open my window. Now that they're not throwing everything everywhere. I'm back. I'm sorry.
Sweet.
But yeah.
So there may be like zero warning. Like I think Justin's just gonna pop into this window at some point.
That's the good shit.
So that'll be fun.
That's what I want. Just him being like, bam.
Yeah.
we're just being Google boys.
Just goofing.
Just goofing.
We are obviously chat room. I mean, we're obviously big fans, right? So I think
I think me and you haven't talked about it a lot because I think we don't want to overthink it. I guess I should open up the Gmail.
We've got time now, though, if you want to overthink it.
Oh, like fuck.
I mean, luckily, maybe we shouldn't just sit here and talk about Justin right before he pops in. I was just saying he is literally the nicest person.
Yes,
so,
indeed. But let's get back to us while we.
Oh yeah, let's focus. I mean, pretty much all the questions are gonna kind of just wrap back around to us, right? Like, hey, remember how I was the first ad you ever did on my brother and me, 13nerd.com?
Is that true?
Yeah,
that's amazing.
Griffin wrote like a jingle and everything. It's pretty hilarious.
I guess I didn't know you when I started listening to MBBM.
Really? I think we probably knew each other.
No,
maybe not.
I could have sworn I started listening to it in St. Louis, and I didn't.
Oh my god!
Until I moved to, yeah, I mean, I listened really early back in the day. But anyways, so back to Tidtown. You wanted to make it much more crunchy. The old, as I was talking about, the old school sort of like, here's a whole bunch of fucking traps and things of that nature. Everything's trying to kill you thing. How do you think it went on that front? I
think it was fun and interesting. I mean, so I ended up doing sort of more prep than I would normally do. So like I had like a map. I like drew out a map. I had rooms. I said what was going to happen in each room, which can be dangerous, right? Because
but
like you don't want to plan too much, as we've always said. But I don't know. I thought it was fun. we definitely still did. We still had kind of like fun surprises and things like that I wouldn't have thought of. It was good. It was so I feel like we did the Temple of Tomoa-chan or whatever the fuck it is.
Yeah.
Way back.
Yeah.
And I would say that wasn't super. That it didn't feel super successful.
Yeah, I'm trying to think.
Like,
I don't know. It was our first time in a dungeon,
right?
And we weren't used to it. And I think it's that weird thing of you just go. There's so much weird shit in dungeons that you don't know if you should walk away. You don't know if this is something important or if it's just a little mini encounter. I think we personally, as players, weren't ready. But yeah.
Yeah, I don't know, because I remember playing through that and feeling like, oh, you guys kind of seem bored.
I think we were more skittish, afraid.
Yeah.
Because again, it was like every 6 feet we got to be like, is this a thing?
Right.
And then we didn't want to, get hurt or something silly like that over something that we could have. My emails.
I think the thing that worked well was, it definitely felt more along the lines of a normal D&D campaign in that like they ended up using hit dice and they ran out of spell slots, stuff like that, because it was a lot more. We did a lot of little encounters, which I think is something that I wouldn't mind continuing on instead of like, here's the one fight that we do in this episode.
I definitely dunked on you in the early times for that. I'm like, dog, I ain't using my daily. I am going to use my daily spell because it's not going to be a big deal. Really razzing you. And
just the format obviously doesn't work for the way normal D&D works, in that we don't sit here for 5 hours and play a 5-hour game.
Right.
All that crap. So, and we kind of have to reset, every episode or two. But I don't know. So I thought, and having second level characters makes things a lot easier as well. Just that they're so like everything is terrifying because they've got like 10 hit points.
They can't do anything. Yeah.
And they've got like 2 things they can do.
Yeah. So
there's not a lot of like just being sort of sitting there and not, like, should I cast this spell or that spell?
Right.
So anyway, so it was fun. I don't know. I thought I enjoyed it. I'm taking lessons away from it, I think, to bring into the main game.
I think you did the best with a weird situation of like us not entirely sure what a dungeon was or like what could actually happen, because I think part of it was that the only dungeon that I had run before that was with Jennifer and you at PAX, right? That was the like what was it, the weird one that I was thinking about this guy the other day. He used to be on Acquisitions Inc. He does the comics. It was very funny. I don't remember. He made it, and that was like made to be extremely dangerous, right? So it turns out that not all dungeons are supposed to be horrifically dangerous. And Scott Kurtz, thank you, Ben, and PL Pete. I saw Ben first, but Pete said it first. It's that sort of situation where a different dungeon does different things, and the Tomoa-chan had that bit where we couldn't breathe or whatever it was. I forget, which was definitely weird, and which gave us a good bit of anxiety. I would love to go back and do another stereotypical ass dungeon, or I know I was talking to you about running some of my improv friends through just like the Curse of Strahd, like the whole thing, where it's like there's some bits where it's dungeon like, and there's other bits where it's like, all right, you're going to a town. One of my favorite parts of early Critical Role I always get them confused. The one that is YouTube with Matt Mercer is he did a good job of putting NPCs that they could talk to in a cave dungeon. So because I would always just assume there wouldn't be enough to pad out. I don't know.
Yeah,
but
Yeah, and I mean it's having a map like that. Some of the benefits are like the rooms have a little bit like if you think through the rooms, like creating the map makes you think through the rooms, right? So it makes it a little bit easier for some stuff like this room has a trap in the middle. So if you go barreling into it to try to hit this guy, you're gonna fall in this trap.
Right.
And that happened a couple times, and it was fun.
Yeah, it's kind of like you almost have to bend the rules a little bit, where it's like, all right, Michael, I am playing the trap detecting rogue right now.
Mm-hmm.
I can either tell you that every we're gonna go slow, and I'm gonna be looking for traps. So how about instead of me saying I look for a trap, we just kind of go about it, and then after a while you give me a few fake, whatever stealth checks or whatever it was back in the day, perception checks, and to keep things rolling. Because that's the thing is like a lot of it is it's both sides of the table. Holy shit! We just went up. Oh my god! We just got so much money. What $4,200?
What the hell?
What the hell? Thank you so much. However that happened, and it's at 420. Nice.
Jesus Christ. I wish
anonymous. Of course, they just gave John. 1945 as a specifically. Oh, mamma mia, hachi wachi. Jennifer taking boxes. She loves boxes. Someone just gave us $1,945 to bring us up to 420 joke.
Yeah.
Wowie.
Insane.
That's insane. Thank you so much, Anonymous. Well, I'll drink a water to that, baby.
Yeah. Someone give 69. Oh, come on, you guys.
Or actually, what was it, 49? Something like that.
Man, that's nuts.
Yeah, we're almost about to right now beat last year's goal. What was I saying? I don't remember.
That is good. I don't know. I'm completely derailed.
I think it was something I don't know. I would like to do dungeon again. But.
Yeah, and I think like, I think I will probably try to do a little bit more as far as like mappy stuff, just to have a better sense of like, here's the room that we're in, and here's some things that you guys can play off of.
Yeah. So I call it the cartoon. The cartoon problem is, in old cartoons when they walk down a hallway, the only door that they can go through is the one that's like drawn or like. Right. Yeah, like they pass.
You can tell that like, oh, that branch of that tree looks a little different. That's gonna fall.
Exactly. So I think the more when you don't do it enough, and this is the lesson. Get out your pins, amateur DMs. If you don't describe things consistently, then when you describe something for fun and flavor, your players will gather around it and just do not. And it can slow the game down. But it's a learning thing, I guess, is the thing to think about. Wow, I can't believe someone just gave that. That's so generous. If you're watching, thank you so much. That means a lot.
Right. Yeah. No, I mean I was a little worried because I don't know. I guess I worry about everything.
Yes.
But,
oh, really?
Yeah. It's so weird.
We've been consistently having very good numbers. We've been hovering at about 100 or between 80 and 100 for most of the day, peaking around like 115. Right now, though, we're at 134. I'm sure the hoops bump is helping right now.
Yeah, we're really. Is this considered jelking? What's happening?
We're jelking. Right? Really? No, we're tantric hoopsing.
We're edging.
We're edging. God. People would be so mad when they realize that we made this all up.
No, he actually so Justin just emailed me. He's almost here. He needs a few more minutes.
Okay.
So.
Yeah. All right, we're at 420.69. Oh my god.
Minutes. But it's that's okay.
It's okay. He's a very busy guy. Everyone that joins us is extremely busy. And it's from the smallest me to the largest whoever else. I chose myself because I didn't want to dunk on. I don't know if one of these other fuckers that came on already. Jennifer.
But anyway, I've been frantically trying to put together our game for later today.
Oh yeah.
Because that is a part of my life where it comes to game day and I'm like, oh God, what are we gonna do?
So I think it's one of those things that we've talked about several times. Is it? So, do you kind of have like several vague episodes planned in your head, and then once we get down to it, based on like the previous sessions where it kind of gets weird, or are you very much living on the seat of your pants lifestyle? Like,
so for this arc, when I set it up, I essentially was like, okay, here are the big things that are happening, and then like essentially like, so there are these Nerevians. They are. Oh, sorry, spoilers coming in. Not for stuff. All for stuff that's already happened. But
oh yeah, this we might get slightly spoilery.
So there's these bad boys, and they're trying to destabilize because of this thing that happened to them or whatever. And so I had that in my head, and I had the symptoms of like that disease, right, like that problem happening throughout the land or whatever. And then I just was sort of like, oh, let's see what they do to figure out, what's going on with this. And then I sprinkle in a few other things that were like maybe related, maybe not related, just so it felt more natural, and not like that cartoon thing where it's like, this is the one path to follow.
Right. This is the door that is animated, therefore.
Yeah. So basically I set that up, and then I just try to kind of like think of like, okay, well, what's going to happen? How do we get there? And there's definitely a few other sort of big side quests going on that I'm not sure like how you guys will tackle those, in what order.
Yeah.
From here on. I mean, there's the whole thing with Jayla and
her weird shit. Her
whole deal.
Yeah.
Her whole thing. So obviously we have Steve's stuff now that just came up.
Yeah, I've heard a little bit about that.
But so I have a general sense of, but like I don't know how you guys are going to deal with this problem that's been set out.
Yeah.
Like I don't have any preconceptions of what I want to have happen.
So while we're playing Monster Hearts, you'll be furiously being like, "Go, what do I do, bud?"
All right. No, I've been making some notes, and I had to like get away from the children playing video games and stuff downstairs.
Yeah.
It's like, this is distracting, and I have to make it a very important D&D
it's
thing.
Very important. I'm just gonna G-chat the Monster Hearts people real quick. Is it a good problem, you would say?
I mean, like, okay, in a perfect world, I would just have more time and I wouldn't have to rush to do it. But obviously, got a lot going on. So, like today, I don't feel super great about it because I wish I had more time to plan.
Right.
But on the other hand, it is like I shouldn't give in to that temptation too much because like don't want to plan everything. Right. Want to leave some of it to. So anyway.
Yeah, like for me specifically, we just ended a big arc of Norhall. And I had some ideas that I thought it'd be cool if they did, but I also had ideas if they went the opposite. So it was one of those things where I knew if they took one path, and this episode hasn't aired yet, so I won't get too specific. I knew if they were going to pick one path, I was going to have to do a lot of planning, which is fine because I've been this entire arc, I pretty much had the skeleton of when we started it, right? So I was like, okay, if depending on how fast they finish it, I'm going to have to kind of come up with something fun for one episode because there's no way I can plan for this next step, right? So when we record next, and we have to record twice in May, which is great, I love doing that. That's when we're gonna start up on the next arc. Like we'll finish like maybe like 1.5 episodes of the old quote unquote stuff, what I call the Harvest Festival arc. And then after that, it's transitioning to something different. And
cool.
It does kind of make me laugh whenever it's like, oh, we're starting a new arc, and this is the month that we have to do 2 back to back. So I can't have nearly as much of a buffer because we're recording like so close together, which I mean, it's a good problem to have sometimes. And, you know, especially since we've been doing it for so long, the players are really getting gelled into their own personal characters, and they're gelling really well with each other now. So at this point, you know what, episode 25 or 26 or something like that, I do a lot less work. So it's super convenient. So if, you know, we were doing an episode tonight, I would not be ready. I mean, I could get one episode for sure, and then I could get part of it, because I know there's some things I like there's some story check boxes I want, and there's some mechanical check boxes I want that I think would be fun to DM, and I think they'd like. But besides that, I don't know how to set it up.
Yeah.
Before I forget, I want to, and I don't want to take too much time whilst the Justin McElroy is on the stream.
Imminently coming.
Yes. The prize that we're going to give away at the end of this next section, when we're done chatting, is the Boss Monster Mega Prize Pack. That includes Boss Monster, the Next Level, Boss Monster Crash Landing, Boss Monster Tools of Hero Kind Expansion, Boss Monster Booster Pack, and Boss Monster Collection Case. That is so much Boss Monster, you can shake a shake at something like that.
It's a lot of Boss Monsters.
Yeah, too many Boss Monsters, that's me. Yeah.
Kieran wants to ask Justin something about red velvet cake, which I don't understand. Is that a thing?
Yeah, are we getting dunked on when... Is that it?
Are we getting dunked on?
Are we getting dunked on? Or zagged? Is that the term?
Are we getting zagged? I don't want to get zagged.
Yeah.
Please don't zag me.
Sorry. I'm telling the Monster Hearts people that they can cut into some of D&D's time.
Chill out,
just
man.
fucking chill, okay?
Back up.
So I'm looking at the schedule. It's a great schedule. It's the best schedule. We got Interview with Hoops. We got Monster Hearts from 5 to 7. I mean, that's not enough time, man, in my opinion. You know what I'm saying? We got...
People are so crazy about the Monster Hearts.
Yeah.
They're so excited about it.
We got D&D from 7 to 10. We got Sayer Fiasco from 10 to 1. We got Secret Hitler from 1 to 4. We got Inglorious Space from 4 to 7. And we got The Captain's Dead from 7 to 10. Isn't that... That's wild. That's wild. I mean, I think we can cut some time. Monster Hearts is going to be very fun, so I'm okay with... You know,
I mean, D&D will probably end up going late, if anything.
Oh boy! Sorry, schedule.
You know those guys.
Yeah.
They just like to go on, and I can't stop them.
Yeah, what are you gonna do?
They have too much fun.
We're also having some tech issues for some folks.
Yeah.
But Tabletop Simulator is being a douche to
really?
a lot of people. What are you gonna do? Token is asking how I'm going to stay up the whole time. I don't know. I have some coffee. I have some apples. Some cookies.
Apples?
Apples have a lot of energy, my man.
Man, you came prepared.
Yes. I'm afraid that I will literally fall asleep at like 1 a.m. Because the past several days I've been falling asleep in my brain at like 3 and at like 8. So I don't know what I'm gonna do when
you were like, hey, almost back on our sleep schedule from coming back from Asia.
Yeah, exactly. I was joking that I should just go ahead and stay up through the rest of Sunday and just go 36 hours and really fuck up my system, but
just really wreck it.
Just get a hard boot. You gotta get a hard boot.
Yeah. What was your favorite part of Asia besides food?
Well, the food, let me tell you. Well, that's a great question. I mean, it's super hard to answer that, and when people, it's such a basic, simple question that I should have been ready for, that I was kind of like embarrassed the first time someone asked me. He's like, "Oh my god, what was the best part?" I was like, I don't. A lot of it, but we were there in Thailand during the Lunar New Year, like called Songkran. Which was like amazing because it's like Bangkok is not always a giant water gun fight, but when I went, it was a giant water gun fight where you basically walk through certain streets, and people are spraying you with squirt guns, getting huge buckets of water and throwing them on you. It's like
just randomly.
Well, it's like specific areas that it's like if you go down here, then you know you're gonna get squirted. It's not everywhere. And then they also walk up to you and put up on this like powder paste on your face. Which is weird and whatever. I'm not judging.
And that's part of the festival?
It's part of the festival. So by the end of it, you're like covered in weird powdery goop and completely soaked through. And that was the night that we stayed at like a pretty big, not a big hostel, but like a big community hostel, so to speak. So we were sharing a room with 12 people total. And it was very cool. So like if you're sitting at a table with 4 chairs, someone would just be like, hey man, you mind if I grab this seat? I'm a 19-year-old Australian person. And you're like, yeah man, take a seat. And you sit, chill, you talk, people get up, other people come down. You make plans to see the city together, you go to the club. So that's probably like my favorite part, just like meeting new people. Because I think we got really lucky with that.
It seemed like you guys were meeting lots of people.
Yeah, we met a good number of folks, I would say. You know, there were in Ho Chi Minh City, we actually got someone that was like, hey, I like to practice my English, and I know the city really well, and I know the food. So we basically paid her not a lot of money, and we, well, not a lot of money for us, but, you know, the exchange rate is insane over there. And she basically just hung out with us all day long. And she had a blast. We paid for all of her food. She didn't really drink a lot, but some of her drinks and her admission into museums and things like that. And
so she was like a guide?
She's like a guide, like a personal guide. But she was just like, it didn't feel like it was just a personal guide. It felt like a friend that you're hanging out with. And then when you get done hanging out with him, you have to give him $100. But it was like the best idea ever. And so if you're going to like different countries, dear chat, I think that's not a bad way to do it, because there's a lot of people that really just want to practice their English and hang out with their bros, and their very new bros.
Nice.
John is telling me we just reached the exact amount we raised last year. So that was 4 minutes ago. So I don't know if that's changed.
Does he have any an idea who dropped all that money on us?
I don't know if he does.
It was anonymous, I guess.
It was anonymous, so I guess. I mean, it could be a lot of people now, you know. And if it was a year or two ago, I think me and you would assume it's the same person. I still am kind of having that in the back of my mind. I don't know, but it's you know,
extremely hard to say.
Extremely hard to say. Maybe someone just loves the ACLU and hates not the ACLU.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Maybe.
I don't.
I was wondering if that would be. I mean, it's a slightly controversial pick for the charity, right? I mean,
it is right now. It's weird. It wasn't, and then it was because of certain things that are going on today, or like this week, even, you know, but that have been going on for the past, I guess, month. But it was like extremely important, and then it kind of showed that they cover both sides, which me personally,
that was the whole point, right? I mean,
right, exactly. Me personally, I wish they didn't, but I'm not always a nice guy, so I'm glad they do. That would be, I don't know. It seems good to say, hey, you can't for human rights. You can't. The whole point is you can't pick.
Right.
But it's just that some people right now are just being very inhumane and scared. Oh, hello.
What? We have a visitor.
Hey,
what's up?
Hey,
how's things?
Oh, you know,
Justin.
How the heck are you?
Good. How are you, buddy?
I'm killing it.
Yeah.
Feeling great. Very hot here.
Is it?
What's the temperature?
Warm. 90 degrees.
Fuck.
98 degrees?
90 degrees. It's wild. like 88, 90 degrees. It's very hot. It's a very hot
Well,
day.
I think that might be one of the worst things to like, I guess, podcast in as you're sweltering, or to chat on the net.
The good thing is I have shelter.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm able to condition that to the kind of temperatures that I enjoy.
Mm-hmm.
Sort of my jam.
Oh, it's like you condition it like the air.
I condition the air with technology.
What type of, what do you got? Do you got a
Nice.
wall unit? Or do you have straight up central air, or?
Yes, central, but it's independently controlled on the 2 floors.
Oh, okay.
So upstairs can be a little nasty, a little hot, a little sweltering
I get
for
that.
the club. And then, afterwards, kick it downstairs, chill out a little bit.
Okay. Where's
Bring down a
your
few degrees.
office? Is the office warm, or?
Oh, I'm downstairs. It's
Okay.
very chill down here.
Great.
It's kind of
perfect.
half into the side of a hill, so it's like semi-underground, kind of. So it's very, very chilly.
Is that like the ideal podcasting studio?
Oh,
Is
yeah.
this
we're
where-
trying to learn.
Is this
right
where the
now,
magic
so
happens?
It's better. Yeah. Can y'all see my video?
Yeah, we can see
Yeah.
that. Thank you.
You can kind of see. I just installed these new acoustic treatments.
Oh my gosh,
In the room, if you can see those.
that's amazing.
Nice.
Yeah, so it's kind of helping to absorb some of the sound and stuff like that.
That's amazing.
That-
Well, thank you so much for joining us. This is Justin McElroy, everyone, in the Twitch chat. From my brother and me, the Adventure Zone, Polygon, things I bought at Sheets. I'm sure Sawbones.
Yeah.
I'm sure I'm forgetting a few. Thank you so much for joining us.
Oh, it's my pleasure. Thanks for having me.
Man, it is great to have you on. We're very honored. As you I think know, we're raising money for the ACLU today,
Good.
which is fun. And I know Travis was into the ACLU for a little bit. I know he did some work to raise money for them at one point. So that's exciting.
What y'all been doing?
We
What's up?
played some board games. We played Zombicide on the tabletop simulator. We played Wizard Academy and Snake Oil. And just chilling. We're going to play some D&D later,
And people watch you guys play games, huh?
Yeah, it's wild.
Isn't that weird?
It's 2017.
Takes all kinds, I guess.
Yeah.
Takes all kinds.
I don't get it either, but it's really fun that these kids here, a lot of millennials here, love to watch it and have a good time with all of it. Yeah, I don't know if we've met. I'm Tim. Hello.
Hey, Tim, what's up?
Just chilling. It's warm in my apartment too because
Nice.
here in Boston it was cold, and then the temperature changed and we didn't put our AC in and we don't have central air, so I'm a little warm. I don't really like it, but yeah. All right, cool.
Somebody fucking stop this freight train of conversation.
Well, I mean, this
Bullet train.
this is what we wanted to talk about mostly was different types of AC coolness. Yeah.
I mean, you have to understand, Justin. Like, this is nerve wracking for us. You're a good TV star now.
Oh my god.
And it's
That's
not every
nonsensical. That does not make sense.
not every day do we get to talk
I have
to.
a streaming television show, guys. Do you know who else has a streaming television show? Fucking everybody on YouTube. Like, it's not. Do you curse? Is this
Yes.
a cursing
Yeah.
free
Go
zone
ahead.
Oh,
Go ahead.
please.
Yeah.
Okay, good.
Say all sorts of things.
Yeah, it's like doesn't count. It's just the only difference is we spend a lot of money on it.
It's more expensive.
It's the only difference between our show and YouTube.
Well, yeah. Well, it's still a great accomplishment, I'd say, and it seems like
Thanks.
folks are loving it, and so
I thought it was wonderful. I really my fiance and I watched it all together, and you guys were
behind
on
the
form.
scenes and in an uncredited role on our program.
yeah. When Michael told
was-
me about that, it was some of the funniest shit in the world. Him just trying to act cool about it.
Hey, no big deal.
Michael
Just talking
created
to Justin.
our ARG sites that connect to our 5th episode of the show about secret societies. There are 2 ARG sites that Michael created. So because he's a good fella and he did me a solid. But
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Anything for the McElroys.
Yeah.
I could have done it myself, but it would have just been a Squarespace page with like a photo of me and words
Which-
like, you did it.
Might have been
It wouldn't
about
fall.
the same.
Yeah.
About the same.
All right, well,
Yeah.
enough ass kissing. Since it is tabletop day, we wanted to kind of chat a little bit, just shoot the shit as it were. I guess about what it's been like running, being a part of, playing Taco on the Adventure Zone. Nothing super. We do have some questions from the listeners that they wrote in. But generally, I know for myself, I wanted to bring up when I wrote to my brother and me in 2011, episode 73. I asked.
I remember it well.
Yes. My pre-wife and I are getting married in a smaller venue for a very special day. The only problem is that people seem to think they can bring a guest with them to the wedding, even though only their name was on the invitation. We do not have enough space or alcohol for this nonsense. How should we drop the news? From No Randos in North Carolina. I just want to apologize because I worded it incorrectly. I was really trying to make sure one guy didn't come to our wedding. And we wanted you guys to give us the permission to do that, but the way I worded it made it sound like we were douchebags, and so I just wanted to clear the air there.
Okay, good.
Yeah,
that's really been something I think about every day. So I'm so happy.
Okay,
all right, that resolved.
All right, now we can get on to the good shit. What I guess just generally, what has it been like, just creating such a massively awesome big D&D show after not really playing a lot of D&D in your life?
It's interesting. The thing about D&D that's unusual is, and I know that this is a contentious thing that I'm about to say, but like by and large, D&D is not the most sort of entertaining it doesn't lend itself super great to like what we're doing, which is an odd thing to say if you've been doing a D&D podcast for however long. But a D&D storytelling podcast. But like our show is very much, and increasingly so, is about the story. And D&D is like, the way I think of it now, what I believe now is it's like fun to play, but less fun to listen to. I think personally,
right?
And like so it's been interesting to like. That's not to just besmirch the good name of D&D, obviously, but it's not the best like storytelling engine.
Right. Well, yeah, for sure. Because you're all making it together in theory, right? So you have no idea where it's going to go.
It wasn't really designed that way, so to speak. So it is sort of interesting that there are so many storytelling D&D shows that are kind of just making it work, so to speak.
Right. Yeah. And it's notable that like there are many things on our show that. This is going to sound like I'm talking out of two sides of my mouth, but there are things on the show that have only happened because we're playing D&D and sort of like abiding by those constraints of that, because we had to find ways to overcome the mechanics.
Yeah.
And I think that has led to like some cool stuff. But it's interesting. It doesn't necessarily lend itself the best to like a storytelling thing. I think more fun to play than to listen to personally.
Yeah.
Right. And I mean, your mileage probably varies quite a bit, right? I mean, it really depends on who you're playing with as well.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, for sure.
And it is interesting because some people want to listen to a D&D like just straight up crunchy campaign. They like hearing the rules. They like hearing the arguing back and forth. They like when the DM is trying to kill them. I know for us, whenever we have done episodes that sort of go out of our normal story-ish arc or whatever, people are like, oh, they didn't do anything. So I can definitely see how trying to just stick within D&D and be, everything to all people can really bite you in the ass.
Well, and we also we don't have a high tolerance for like paying attention or doing a good job with regards to the rules of the Dungeons and the Dragons. So
yeah,
your mileage may vary, kind of thing.
Yeah, it's been interesting just having people email us, be like, hey man, in 2012, just want to let you know that you could have added an extra D6 to your roll. Not a big deal.
That's what cracks me up the most. Like, on what plan? It's so rare that I even cast the same spell twice. Yeah. Like, in what reality do you think I'm going to be in this situation where, like, that information of how to do it good is going to be of value to me? Like, I super don't care.
All I want to do is say, in what world would I be the same level? Also,
Yeah.
this character's dead, and not only that, the next character's dead too. So I can't go back in time for that. I know it's just people want to be helpful, but it is pretty
I do,
baffling.
yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Well, and it's people just who have different sort of. There are people who say, like, if you're not going to play D&D, why are you playing D&D?
Yeah.
And I do actually think that that's like a very fair point. I mean, the best answer I can give you is like, because we are, and
Yeah.
it's like a little late for that now.
Like, oops, we already having fun.
Right.
I mean, I think. Oh, go ahead, Michael.
No, you go ahead.
Oh, yeah, I was gonna say, I do think that D&D is a lot more, has a lot more wiggle room than some people give it credit, just because they will throw in an asterisk every now and again for, well, you can do whatever you want because the DM says so, and then they'll release an unearthed arcana that lets you completely change all the rules. But they're right. There are definitely systems that are basically completely tailor-made just for chatting with your bros, making stories and stuff like that.
And we've tried some different stuff, and I don't really, it's kind of super doesn't matter what the rule set is, right? Like we've tried Fate and a couple other things, and it's all sort of just, the rules are what you make of them, and you don't necessarily need to, I don't know, like we follow them as little as possible.
I think that the argument comes down to, and again, a very fair point, that it is just a make-believe. It's just a system for make-believe.
Right.
Dungeons and Dragons, the best way I ever described it is, for people who ask, it's like, do you ever play like pretend with your friends?
Yeah.
Dungeons and Dragons presupposes one person has the right to say, oh, not so fast. Oh, no, that's not really how you pretended. You pretended differently. And I think the worry for some people is if you start disregarding one rule, it's sort of like systems of belief. Like if you can undermine one thing, at what point does that undermining stop and you're just like pretending? You know what I mean?
Yeah. It's when people will email, well, why even playing D&D if you're undermining XYZ? But... Right.
Which again, yeah, like a fair point. If I spend a lot of time building a game system, I would super not want people to like mess it up, I guess.
Yeah.
But
I mean, Wizards of the Coast don't really seem to care that much. So.
No, those dollars still spend. Even if you make a bunch of fart noises, like that check still clears on your player's manual. So
they weren't as chill before, but now they are. Yeah.
Oh yeah, do you know Greg Tito from back in the video game days?
Yeah, I don't think. Yeah, I think we probably met a couple times at like shows and stuff.
Yeah, he does their podcast. He's a great guy, and I think he used to work for Escapist, maybe.
Yeah, that sounds right.
So do you find, how are your listeners from like say my brother and me? Are they a lot different than the Adventure Zone folks, or do they just needle you about random bullshit on both sides?
There's definitely a big crossover between the two. I would say that like my brother and me crowd is probably a little bit more irreverent than the Adventure Zone crowd. Like my brother and me crowd is kind of up for whatever, and the Adventure Zone folks are a little more invested, I think, in the stuff that we're doing, which is cool.
Yeah.
But yeah, I would say that's probably the biggest difference between the two. Is I think my brother and me is always a little sillier, which is fine, but it's cool to have groups of people that are overlapping in that sense.
Yeah.
Do you get people like Sawbones people coming and trying to correct your medical advice?
On Sawbones, yeah, Sydney will regularly get people like trying to second guess her, and it's like, she's a physician, so you should
a lot of actuallys.
Yeah, exactly. It's like I guarantee you, she is smarter than you. Whoever you are, I guarantee she's smarter than you. You should probably pump the brakes a little bit.
Yeah, I would pay money to see some of the comments that y'all get, just because.
Oh, it's hilarious. Pronunciation is the one that always kills me.
Yeah,
you're pronouncing it wrong. It's like, well, maybe, but probably not. Yeah. Like you probably just heard it a certain way your whole life, and then I don't know. I trust Sydney implicitly, so
yeah.
Even when she says she's wrong, I don't really believe her.
She's like, your first instinct was right that you're right. Yeah, we get the pronunciation thing for like Game of Thrones. And it's like
Oh
It's
my
all made
God.
up bullshit.
it's
Nope.
all made up,
Fake.
and all three sources are completely different of like the books and what George
Yeah.
R. R. Martin says, the audio books and the show. It's like, are you really gonna get pissed off about this with this crazy fantasy show? This is
And the answer is yes.
yeah. So apparently, yes, we
they
are.
are.
Oh, that's weird. I didn't expect that. Yeah. As we've gotten doing our shows for the years, it is kind of hilarious, and I'm sure you've seen it as well, being on the internet for as long as you have from Joystick and so forth. Like, there is no bottom to how insane, I guess, the net can be, but it's also a nice place.
Yeah. By and large, we've been so lucky to have a bunch of listeners who are like the most fun and always down for whatever. So that's always been great.
Yeah. Well, we got a couple questions. This one, feel free to not answer, but we're just gonna go with it. I don't know.
Good start.
Hi, Justin, big fan from Jason Brown. Question:
Thanks, JB.
Which of your brothers would you consume in a Donner Party-esque situation? Would you go for volume, Travis, or tenderness, Griffin? They aren't here, so you can finally answer truthfully. So.
No, there's no reality in which I would answer this question. That's yucky. I don't want to think about it.
Great. Thanks, JB.
Try again. Better luck next
Good
time,
question,
JB.
though.
Yeah, thanks, JB.
Not really. I mean, I didn't answer. I didn't want to answer it, which seems to me for a question to be like the number one criteria.
Yeah. JB wants to try
That's fine,
again.
JB. I wouldn't eat either of my brothers. That would be the pits.
Yeah. JB asks, "Hey Justin, you rock." Well, he says that. And then, do you have constant new podcast ideas, or do you feel fully satisfied with the ones you are currently involved in? I would imagine your sweeping success on 3 great podcasts would make you think, yeah, I could do more of these.
Oh, that's a fun question. I mean, I
saved it.
Yeah, that was a good one. I do have concepts that I have concepts for shows that I don't necessarily act on just because I do a lot of things already, and none of which are particularly taxing, but I tend to see it from like an outward perspective, like would this be something that a lot of people would enjoy? And that's become my criteria mainly. And like a lot of things I think are funny, but I don't think would necessarily have a broad appeal. The other thing is I've been very fortunate in that the main people that I podcast with are people who I'm a blood relative of or employed with. So they kind of have to work with me. And I feel like if you had shows with people who didn't fit that criteria, like I'm always a little nervous about that because I feel like it gets exponentially more difficult when you don't fit one of those two criteria. It's why Roman Mars and I have only managed to make one episode of our asynchronous podcast, Smart Stuff.
Yeah, once you add in the interpersonal bit of podcasting, sometimes it can be weird, especially if it's people that it's like, oh, I play Xbox with them and they're fun. I'm sure they're fine.
Right. I assume Tim is going to be gone like every week we go to record. I think he's just going to disappear, but he's still here.
Yeah,
So that's
well, it's you know,
catfish him.
part of it is cheating because part of it is it's really hard to do remote podcasting well.
Yeah.
And I think that if you don't already know somebody pretty decently, it takes a long time to build those rhythms. And my brothers and I, Sydney and I record our show locally. My brothers and I have been really lucky in that we've had our entire lives to sort of build those rhythms up, and sort of know what the other one's thinking and know, you know, and that sort of thing. So I think it'd be really challenging. Like that it's something I'd be really hesitant about. It's like starting a new show with someone that I don't already have a good chemistry with.
Yeah, it's probably more scary than it ought to be, just because, you know, a lot of people are good, but you know, even us in our Rinky Dinky shows, we've had a little issues with people that we've had to stop working with, so to speak. And
Tell me all of it.
okay, so here's the thing. No, I won't. I don't want to get
like little pigs. Let's do it.
Oh god, that is my favorite thing, which I just really getting all gossipy and like.
Sure,
Isn't it fucked up when people email me? Yeah.
So I one of the very first podcasts I ever listened to was the Joystick podcast.
Oh, cool.
Back in the day, and I mean that's honestly that and a couple other things were kind of the reason that our whole thing exists. Like
Yeah.
we started playing, Battlefield, Bad Company with some joystick folks, and we all were big fans of the podcast, and now it's turned into this thing that consumes a great deal of my life. So so thank you.
So I'm
yeah.
very sorry.
Yeah.
And also, actually, while I'm going down this path, even more directly, which is probably a thing that you don't remember, but I asked you for a recommendation at one point of like what's a book I should read, because I had just finished like The Stand, maybe, I think, or like the Dark Tower trilogy.
Yeah.
And you suggested Game of Thrones. And
Dag, really?
yeah, and so I listened to that, and then me and some of my buddies started our Cast of Thrones, our podcast, which turned into GeeklyInc eventually.
That's a fucking weird recommendation, because I finished half of the second one.
Like, I don't know.
I'm glad you liked them. Apparently they weren't my cup of tea.
Well, I guess thank you for starting everything for us. I didn't realize it was that deep, Michael.
I know, the layers.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah, if I have a time machine, I'll protect you from getting reverse murdered in the past or something. Terminated.
Was that before the TV show?
Yeah.
Yeah, it was a little bit before the TV show. Yeah.
Didn't mean, I guess I was out in the edge, the bleeding edge.
Yep.
Renegade Journal asks, Justin, Thrifty, and Tim, how do you deal with emotional aspects of your life coming up in D&D and Adventure Zone? For example, in an episode of Adventure Zone, Taco talks about his cooking show, and the other characters talk about their backstories, like Merle talking about an emotional memory of his wife. Do you guys bring some real-life moments to the podcast in RPing? Thanks.
I mean, the honest answer is yes and no. I mean, my degree's in acting and directing, and I don't get to use it a lot, but like that is the only place where those moments I think can sort of come from. Some people would ascribe to the theory that you have to be referencing specific moments for those emotional bits to play in a way that feels authentic and real. I don't necessarily feel that way. I'm not like a method sort of person. But I do think that like I'm definitely acting. I mean, I'm acting. I don't know a better way to describe it. Like I'm remembering moments in my life that like I have felt similar ways, but by and large it's acting.
Yeah, you pull from your own past, even if you don't realize you're doing it sometimes.
I will say that being able to reach emotional moments, it is something that has become so much easier for me as I've gotten older. When I was in college and I was actually acting, a good amount of time, it was not easy for me to get there, as they would say, with any sort of regularity. And it wasn't until I had actual like adult stuff happen in my life. My mom passed away, my daughter was born, and stuff like that, where it really became I had those things that I could a lot closer to the surface. I had some of the bittersweet qualities that like make moments like that actually come together. But it wasn't until I got older that I could really like understand that and get into that headspace with any.
Yeah, and it sometimes feels weird to say like, oh yeah, all the like a passing of the family helps me play a wizard better.
Yes. Yeah.
But it's I think audiences want things that are authentic, and no matter how you can pull from that, whether it's like yeah, okay, maybe my barbarian who's in this weird cave fighting goblins, it's not the same as divorce or cancer, but you can kind of tap into it, especially if you're drinking. Tap into the same bit.
So Adam Bash sent an email, and this is not a question, but it's more just saying kind of nice things to Justin, which I fully appreciate.
Hell yeah.
So in 2013, you wrote a blog post called "What It Has Taken Me 33 Years to Learn," and he highly recommends people look it up. And it is essentially the crux of it is I can count on my one hand the number of times putting out negativity has brought me back something worthwhile. And even when it works, it feels terrible. And so he apparently it was very meaningful to him, so he wanted to pass that along. He does he does a lot of stuff for us, so I wanted to be that vehicle.
That's really nice. I'm glad that was useful for him. Sometimes I find that putting stuff like that out into the world is useful, if only because you're somebody who like it forces you to be accountable to it. You know, like you say, you put out something like that, then you kind of have to be a good egg. You know, from that point on.
You can't call someone a piece of shit for
exactly, and then have like 50 tweets like, oh, well.
It's like, look at this motherfucker who told me I did wizard spell wrong. It's like, Justin, you wrote this. It's like, that was about Gamergate. This is not about fucking someone yelling at me about being a wizard. Hugo asks. Oh, sorry.
Go ahead.
Oh, okay.
Oh, I was just gonna be, just continue on the path a little bit. Just everything you've always put a lot of positivity out there, and I've always looked up to that and appreciated it and tried to emulate it as much as possible. So thank you. So I'm gonna pile on Adam's thank you train.
No problem.
Yeah, you
guys. Literally the least I could do.
Hugo asks, I listened to Sawbones in the car with my dad on a long drive. The one with James Barry, and now my dad listens to Sawbones. Are there any other podcasts that you know of that dads would enjoy, that are educational and lighthearted like Sawbones? Thanks from your boy, Hughes. So dadcasts.
I think the number one, like in that model, would be Stuff You Should Know. Is the number one cast in that model. It's the one that we built Pattern Sawbones after, and I love both of those guys. Chuck and Josh, who do that show, are both the best, and it's the best in the game. And at this point, they've done so many episodes that apologize to John Hodgman, but their podcast is approaching like complete world knowledge. Like, listen to all the episodes of that show, you would be infinitely smarter, and it's full of things. In my experience, dads, and I'm sure moms too, but I've noticed it more specifically with dads, love having like minutia they can drop.
Definitely.
And since I've become a dad, of course I feel the same way. Stuff You Should Know is like the best for that.
It's hilarious.
You could also go with 99% Invisible if your dad's a slightly more erudite. I get tons of trivia from that show, and it gives me like a better understanding of the world around me, which I, as a practicing dad, love. So
being able to tell someone how a microwave works or vinyl flooring or anything is infinitely useful, I think.
Yeah, of course.
C.E. Baker asks, "Hey Justin, outside of your D&D adventures, is there any other tabletop game and or trading card game you're a big fan of? Big props to Sawbones."
Board games are for nerds.
Okay. Yeah, it's crazy.
My number one favorite board game of all time is now and will ever be Last Night on Earth. I think Last Night on Earth is like, for me, if I have 6 people around and we want to play something, Last Night on Earth is like always very high on the list. Yes. Recently, I would say the Haunting of Hill House has been like up there for that, but I would say that Haunting of Hill House can like break when you have the split for when it becomes no longer sort of cooperative but competitive. Sometimes it's really fun, sometimes it's like, if you have people playing board games who maybe don't play a lot or don't know each other as well, maybe some of that, if you're the host, some of like playing a board game is about making sure everybody's very comfortable
Yeah.
and everybody's having a good time and balancing egos and like making
Yeah.
sure everybody's enjoying themselves. So like Last Night on Earth rules from that perspective because everybody's on the same page. They're all playing cooperatively. They want the same things, but there's still autonomy, which is the thing I don't like about games like Pandemic, which I still enjoy.
Yeah.
But I feel like Pandemic, eventually no one's playing roles. It's just everyone sort of collaboratively agreeing on
Right.
what the best things to do are.
Right.
Which I Last on Earth does not do that. Haunting of Hill House does, however, can break in such a way where like the person that people don't know as well, like the new boyfriend, who is there meeting everyone for the first time, can become the bad guy, and then it's like, well,
oops. Do you mean Betrayal at the House on the Hill?
Yes, that's the one. Haunting of Hill House is the movie.
Yeah.
Betrayal at House on the Hill is the one that I'm thinking of. Yes.
Yeah, that's always
the movie. Yes.
Yeah. The Last Night on Earth was
Betrayal. Can I also say in my defense, Betrayal at House on the Hill is a bad name for a board game. And never came up with it. Should be ashamed.
Yeah.
It's the most infinitely forgettable name ever created.
You
made
it
a
means
good game,
almost
guys
nothing.
and gals.
Yeah.
But it means nothing.
Last Night on Earth is, it's like, this is what this is. This is the last night on Earth. You're gonna fucking die, or you won't. Whatever. That was probably one of the first board games I got. I think Joystick Man Richard Mitchell suggested it at one point, and I was like, I want this.
The other cool thing about Last Night on Earth that is neat is that it does have a lot of rules and a lot of mechanics, but they're all so well connected to logic. Like it all like makes sense once you put your head in that space of like, I'm playing through a B horror movie. Everything sort of makes sense. Like, oh, okay, I understand this mechanic because it's very logical mechanics. It feels very much like not real life, but it's all very organic, some of the other other games like Fortune and Glory have the mechanics that are a little bit more abstracted, which I don't dig as much. But I like that. I've also played, what's the one that's a zombie game where it's Dead of Winter?
Dead of Winter.
Oh,
yeah, I like that. I dig that too. I think that's very cool.
Yeah. After I got Dead of Winter, I kind of stopped playing Last Night on Earth because I dug the specific who the hell am I playing with that is trying to fight me, and then learning which of my friends are just so manipulative and evil that they can turn me on their like husband or wife or whatever like that, to the extent where we're all shouting at the wife is like, I'm not a betrayer, and then it turns out the guy that started it's some of the most fun I've had playing.
That's one too where like the social aspects can get a little bit like dicey.
Very much so.
Which is also my problem with like other games that I love, like Saboteur or like One Night Werewolf, stuff like that. It's like, okay, this all got a little awkward. Like this is we don't know each other well enough to be shouting about who is a murderous wolf.
I've almost gotten in a fight before due to werewolf because someone who is dead was talking, and not just talking because who wants to sit in a room by them like quiet with everybody else, but like telling people what they should do. I'm like, dude, you got to quit doing that. This game has 2.5 rules. It's not very good. It's we all have to agree to some small basic structure. If you break the structure, we're just arguing about who's a werewolf, and that's very, very strange.
Yeah, it's Calvin Ball. I mean, at that point, yeah.
Well, Justin, thank you so much for joining us.
Yes, currently there's a raffle going on the Twitch, so if you're watching on Twitch, do that, and then we will be giving away the Boss Monster Super Party Big Ass Pack. But yeah, Justin, thank you so much for joining us. It means a whole lot.
Oh, well, it's my great pleasure and honor. Thank you for having me. I'm sorry that I was late to the stream. I hope that you all did not talk a bunch of yay about me.
We talk so much yay.
Oh, I never would have. I don't even know how I would begin to start to say that.
Well, either way, thank you, and it's good work y'all are doing.
Yeah, well,
thank you, Justin. You've always been very supportive, and I really always appreciate it. Always have a nice thing to say. So
for sure.
So thank you.
Yeah, we've definitely asked Justin for the listeners. We've asked him many small questions throughout the time and some larger ones because we don't know what the fuck we're doing. And I think the McElroys might have some idea about podcasting. So it's always been kind of neat secretly knowing that we've gotten suggestions from the best out there. But
Well, thanks.
All right. Thanks, Justin.
Bye, y'all.
thank you so much. Have a great rest of the day and hope it's not too warm.
Oh, thanks.
Yeah.
It is. So thank you. Bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye. Hey, Justin McElroy, folks.
Wowie. We got through it without freaking out.
I peed a little bit.
I do have to pee, but that's just because I'm constantly drinking coffee and so forth and so on. So the raffle's closed. We now have a winner for the raffle. Is this the Kathy Rain one or is this the Boss Monster one? I got confused.
I don't know.
Okay, actually, yeah, this is the Kathy Rain one. Jay Brooks Dev, who's not following us. God damn you. Just kidding. You win, and we'll get you the code. And I also have the winner of the Super Duper Boss Monster Super Big Prize Pack. Boom, boom. Thank you, John. You're making me live. The Super Big Boss Monster Prize Pack is Michael McMahon. Whatever your Twitch name may be, but you gave us money, and now you win forever and ever and ever. I'm just razzing you, Jay Brooks Dev. Don't take the razzing too deeply. We love you so much. Also, Michael McMahon will get your give us your address or something like that, and we'll be sure to ship out the 29 different boxes of Boss Monster things. Michael, thank you so much,
Timothy,
for organizing this, reaching out to we didn't ask if we could call them hoops. Fuck.
Oh my God, shit.
Thank you so much for being a part of this. Can you do me a favor?
Yes, I can absolutely do you a favor.
Can you vamp as I go pee? And
I would love to. I would love nothing more.
I'll give. What are you looking at me for? Oh. Okay, I'm gonna get the Monster Hearts people in as I'm peeing. You will have to talk to them. I'm sorry.
I don't. Can I not?
You have to.
All right.
Okay. And I have to stretch my leg.